I've been to 33 African countries. And I'm going to tell you this right here. Their ways of doing business, their ways of thinking, their ways of carrying on day to day is totally different than ours. You know, a man's word, you do not hold as truth when you're in Africa.
So I believe everyone is okay here. Today I have a sad video to do. A sad one because someone somewhere that I thought he was doing good for the country, for the continent, turns out he's not been doing good for the continent itself. This brother is trying to tarnish the image of the continent. I've gone through his video, I've gone through the comment section. Everything is just negative. Nothing is positive from whatever he's saying. So I'm saddened because even Africans, nobody is reacting to what he did. You see, I'm talking about a video that was done by Go Black to Africa. Go Black to Africa is trying to put all Africans in one bucket. In fact, yesterday I was having this conversation with Mark, the brother from the brother who is living in Tanzania, the Black American, and we had a conversation. When I brought this topic, it kind of hurt him. He was hurt by me asking this question. You see, there is this concept that African Americans have made Africans look like. Not all African Americans, not all. I know of some people who are good, you see. So this person, Go Black to Africa, is trying to paint Africa in such a bad way. He's talking as if Africa is bad, everything is illegal, like we just need to steal from someone in order to survive. But that is very wrong, brother. Go Black to Africa. That's very wrong, brother. I understand you had some bad experiences, but don't put all Africans in that. Don't put the whole 54 countries into that. Some people are looking towards coming to Africa, and when they look at such messages you are giving, you don't have the authority to say such things. You do not speak for all Africans. You even do not speak for all Black Americans. Good brother. I cherish and I adore what you do, but I have to correct you, brother. I have to correct you. You are like my dad, but you stepped wrongly. If somebody conned you, if somebody wronged you, don't put everyone into that thing. Africa is not a place where African Americans are coming to be conned. Myself in my life, I've never conned anyone. My family has never conned anyone. Everything we've had from our hard work, and it is God who provides. It is God who built this continent. You see, if African Americans are trying to put Africa in that position that the West is putting us, I just don't know. Go Black to Africa has always had some issues with Africans in total, the whole continent, the whole. If he had issues with Ghana, if he had issues with Kenya, I would have tried and kept quiet, because what is saddening me is also this. African Americans are also believing. African Americans are supporting him. See, these people are darkening counsel. They're darkening counsel without knowledge. You see, this is a fallacy of division, a fallacy of composition. I'm sorry. A small sample for a big sample. I'm very sure, I'm very positive that even in the United States, there is some black people who is robbing black people. We've always had it in the news. Look at this.
So how difficult was it to not hurt the baby in that moment?
It was extremely difficult.
Other news today, a domestic dispute call turned terrifyingly violent when a man grabbed his baby and used it as a human shield during a confrontation with police. There was a tense standoff before the child was rescued.
Put the baby down!
It's a heart-stopping standoff.
A father is using his little boy as a human baby shield.
Wild surveillance video from inside the North Face store at the Pleasant Prairie Premium Outlets shows what police are calling a mob shoplifting incident.
They were in and out of that store within 30 seconds.
Police say the heist went down like this. Monday night, just before 8 o'clock, 10 men swarmed the store, 9 of them grabbing clothes off the racks, sprinting out, and making off with more than $30,000 worth of merchandise.
That's a black man. That's a black man who is attacking a fellow black man with a kid. What's that? Do I go and say everybody in America does this and that? Don't go to America. I do not say that. I don't care whether you support me or not. But this is my home. I have to defend my home. In as much as I'm preaching the message of coming back home. This is my home. I have to defend my home. You see? I go back to Africa and some other people are tarnishing the name of Africa. Just try and look at Africa in the positive side. You see? There was also another issue about me and my titles and my videos. I don't just make random titles. I generate titles based on the videos that I'm reacting on or on the videos that I'm giving commentaries on. I do commentaries and I do reaction videos. That is what I do basically. So I always extract titles from the videos. Say somebody said black Americans are begging other African Americans. What's wrong with me saying what someone else? I'm just trying to rephrase. I'm re-quoting. I'm quoting what someone else has said. Not just someone else, but someone in the video. What's wrong with that? Really, what's wrong with that? So before we go too much, I want us to watch this video that Go Black to Africa made. And you guys, I want you to pay attention to this. Just listen for yourself. If you're an African, do give a comment. Kindly, do give a comment. Listen to this.
This is your man, not your boy, bringing you another gold nugget that you can either pick up or you can just kick it aside. Africa. Africa, as many people are wanting to believe, in and for, is not legitimate.
Brother is saying Africa is not legitimate. Why is he saying this? He's saying this because of his experience. Someone in Africa conned him. And we don't know who conned Go Black to Africa. We don't know. I don't know who did that to him. But why should you say Africa is not legitimate? Why you should say some people in Africa are not legitimate? If you say Africa is not legitimate, if one day I go to USA with my family, how will black Americans look at my family? How will the white people look at my family? Even you, fellow African who is watching, how do you think they will look at you on the other side if we let this thing cultivate in our mind and grow? This is a seed of doubt, a seed of hate that this person is planting. Africa is a good place and Africa is just like any other continent. You see? We've always had these misconceptions about Africa here and there. The sad part is that African Americans are also participating in such things. Theft is everywhere. In fact, theft is even in higher scales in the United States. People steal there like hell. I've never said that USA is a place of don't go there. I've always wanted to go. But this brother is he's speaking with anger. You can sense anger in his words. You can sense bitterness. And these brothers, I just ask you one thing. I'm not holy. I'm far from being holy. I'm very far. But I know of one thing. God built us with one thing. The spirit of discernment. The spirit of telling wrong from right. Everybody is born with that. Use your discernment. This person is being personal with the whole continent. This person is just being subjective. I want you to be objective. Look, ask your instincts. Listen to what your heart is telling you. Because where your heart is telling you is likely to be the truth. That inner voice. If your inner voice tells you Africa is a bad place, dear, don't. If Africa is telling you the brother is just bluffing and blabbing, you know what to do. Let no man's word discourage you from moving to Africa, because this person is talking of bitterness. We have people in Africa who've been robbed, people in Africa who've been done nasty things, but this is still their home. They never left their home, they're still living here. But brother here is tarnishing our name. Brother is tarnishing our name so bad. And I really don't like this. I really don't like this. So let's continue.
I just got off the phone today with a young man, and I was just sharing with him on a project he is embarking on. He wants to bring in diaspora, start a community, you know, get this land, and he wants to really help and assist people. But I warned him, and I said, many people like yourself have done these type of land selling plots, and it always turns into a scam. People, they reach out to me, they tell me that they got scammed by this individual, that individual, and it was all because of the fact that the person didn't even know how to navigate through acquiring property over in Africa, did not know the rules of engagement, and did not even know the culture of the people who you're doing business with. Let me drop some nuggets for you all. This is first and foremost not against Africa. This is educating you about the things and the ways of Africa.
This is very wrong. You see, he's trying to sugarcoat, he's trying to remove the weight he put on Africa while he was starting to talk. This person is manipulative, and he's trying to manipulate our thoughts. This is not education. This is miseducation. You see, even scamming land scammers, I believe land scammers are even there in the United States. I believe that. You see, if anybody, even in the United States where Brother Go Black to Africa is shooting the video at, I can tell from the background. We have scammers. If nobody has the knowledge, if nobody has the skills to buy land, because everything in this earth requires skills. Even riding a bicycle, it requires skills. If we don't have that skill, we're gonna fall. We're gonna fall with the bicycle. You see, it's purely logic. But why put it on Africa? Why discourage people? He's saying a brother whom I suspect should be someone is trying to help African Americans move back to Africa, and this fellow brother is trying to discourage that, telling him this and that. These people are just pessimistic. Pessimism. These people are full of pessimism. Bad energy, negative energy is what these people are full of. I'm not saying Africa is a holy place. It's not a holy place. But stop painting Africa in the black way you're doing it. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. It's not right. It's not right totally. It's not right. Provide solutions. Don't provide solutions after identifying the problems. Provide solutions. Because do you rather you live in the United States with all that? Do you rather you live in the United States with all that racial whatever? Do you rather do that in the United States? Do you rather? Is it okay to suffer each day? Police on your back. Racial injustices. I don't know the weight. Only you people can know the weight. I only know the shadow of what you face. Even with this knowledge of the shadow that I know, I can still feel that the shadow is too big. And Africa is a sanctuary. Africa is a better place. This is the place where you came from, people. This is the place where your ancestors came from. If God asked me today, Evans, why are you doing your channel? I'll tell them, African Americans, this is where they came from. And this is where they have to get back. I might say Ghana is having some problems. I might say Kenya is having some problems. I might say Tanzania is having some problems. But I never say the whole Africa is having some problems. I never say that. I always exploit and expose the options. This is miseducation. This brother is not educating. This is miseducation. Take it from the African himself. Take it from me. There are things I don't know how to maneuver land and all that. But I know one thing, I have lived here. My entire life I have lived here. And what these people who came just 5-10 years ago are telling you about Africa, they think they know all even than the people who live here. Can't you just ask yourself, are these people legit in what they are saying? These people are not legit, they're self-righteous, and they think because they have a certain number of followers, they qualify to change your mind and do something. They should educate you. They should inform you. If you want to move to Africa, they should let you know. If you want to move to Africa, follow this ABC. They should not tell you, don't move to Africa. Africa, you will be robbed. You know, there's a guy who is trying to bring separation between Africans and African Americans. That's bullshit. It's not right. It's not right. It's not right. Whatever these people are doing is not right. Let the African Americans decide for themselves. You might be getting even 1 million phone calls. I don't care with those 1 million phone calls. How sure are you that even these black Americans don't cause these problems for themselves? If I live here and go to USA and I am stabbed, you see, I'm stabbed. Will I go back to Africa and say, don't go to USA, you'll be stabbed? No. No. And I can't be stabbed because I am an African. No. You will always be a target to thieves. Thieves smell when you have something. They smell you have something, they will attack you. Mkono mtupu haulambwi. That is a Swahili proverb. An empty stomach does not vomit also. An empty stomach does not vomit. These people are trying to vomit, saying that they didn't eat anything. They ate something that made them vomit. We should learn from these things. Actually, I'm so sad doing this video. I'm so sad. I had this live stream yesterday with Brother Mark, and we kind of had a misunderstanding because he sees things in the negative way. He sees Africans in the negative way. He calls it the reality. I don't know if reality is only positive, but he calls it reality. I kind of like to see things in the positive way. I'm not perfect. I'm so much far from perfect. But your brother here, he always tends to see things in the positive way. Let's continue to what the brother said.
I've been to 33 African countries, and I'm going to tell you this right here. Their ways of doing business, their ways of thinking, their ways of carrying on day to day is totally different than ours. You know, a man's word you do not hold as truth when you're in Africa.
A man's word you do not hold to be true while you're in Africa. Has this man entered into each and every person's heart? Each and every person's heart. He's putting himself in the position of God. Only God knows the heart of man. Only God knows the heart of... I can't trust what Go Black to Africa is saying. He's trying to say we are thieves. We ain't thieves. He's been to 33 African countries. How long has he lived in these 33 African countries? How long has he lived? How long has he lived in each African country he's been? Even if he walked 54 countries, how long has he lived in each 54 countries? Was he spending 1 year in each country? Even 1 year is not enough for you to know something about a country is very big. A country is very big. We have Christians, we have Buddhists, we have Muslims, we have people who have moral values, people who will never steal, people who will always cherish you, people who will never steal from you. But he's all putting us in such a position that we are all thieves. We are all this and that. We have Christians, true Christians. Africans, we have churches. Africans, we have those Muslim people who worship. In Africa, we have the concept of sin. We are not like some wild animals, some criminals who are there hunting for black Americans. No, we are not doing that here in Africa. So whatever this brother is saying is partially, a very small percentage to be true. This car, I will still use it as an analogy. I used this on Brother Mark yesterday. I told him this part, this tire, This tire is part of the car, but not the car itself. If I separate this car, is this tire, this one here. You see? You see this one? If I separate this tire, this one, I separate it from the whole car. The tire does not make sense. It's just a tool there. This car has been made of different parts. For you to see the blue and the tire and everything, different parts have been brought together. This guy is trying to bring about is trying to dismantle Africa and defining each part. Each part does not make sense until you bring them together. These people should stop putting Africa in such a negative way. I know you've had bad experiences, people have conned you. You should also follow the right path, my brother. You should also follow the right path. I'm speaking, and I'm speaking out of truth. I'm speaking out of understanding. Brother, I might not know what happened to you, but have heard. I'm a resident. I'm a citizen. I was born here in this continent of Africa. I know one or two things. Just listen to me. Whatever these people are telling you is just a very small part of everything. Don't trust what Go Black to Africa is telling you completely. No. No, 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 no. No. We have Christians, we have Muslims, we have Buddhists, we have other religions. Do you think a Christian will just put down their faith and go and steal? Do you think a Muslim will just put down their faith and go and steal? Do you think a Buddhist will just put down their faith and go and steal? No. No, 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 no. A true Christian would never do that. They will never ever do that. In USA, we have a lot of bad things. We have gays. We have gays in the United States. If I see a black American, I don't see a gay. If you bring the argument that African Americans, that Africans are thieves, I might bring a number of arguments against you. I can bring a number of arguments against you, Go Black to Africa, you other people who are trying to defame the name of Africa. Whatever you are doing is not right, and you have to be told. Let's continue.
A man's word is only what comes out that might benefit him at that moment in time. You can ask a man, can he build a house? And he'll tell you yes. You ask a man, can he fix on your car? He will tell you yes. You ask a man, does he know anything about, security or computers or whatever? And he or she is going to tell you yes. Now,
listen, if you ask a man whether he'll do this and this, he'll tell you yes. Do you think if I go to US, I tell them I have $1 million in my bag, I want you to show me the bank where it is? Do you think I can trust someone like that? And they'll tell me, no. There are certain procedures you should follow. You see? You cannot ask, you cannot take, you cannot ask the fox to take care of your chicken. No. You cannot ask the leopard to graze your goat. No. You can never do that. Go Black to Africa is trying to put that thing. Everyone can't be engineers. Everyone can't fix their cars. Why don't you go to the correct place? You should get these people. We have people who fix cars. We have mechanics. We have Auto Express. We have Jimmy Auto Spares. We have people who make cars. Why don't you take yourself to those people? Why do you just go to some random person and you ask them, hey, do you know how to fix a car? I just can't go to United States and ask some random people. We have institutions. We have people who are built to do something. Good brother, stop tarnishing the name of Africa. I know you had your own sad days and everything, but don't ruin it for people who want to come, okay? Don't ruin it. Sisters want to come, mothers want to come, fathers want to come. When they listen to what you are saying and how you are putting me as an African, I feel bad, brother. I feel bad. Don't make it look like United States is the heaven, then Africa is the hell. No. No, 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 no. You are very wrong.
I'm not talking all Africans are like this, but I am talking a large majority of people because of their backgrounds financially, will do any and almost everything in order to get money. I have seen people sell themselves.
Financial backgrounds and everything. I've seen families where they have nothing, but these people, they never robbed. I've seen, and I have seen with my own eyes. I told you I've lived in Africa. Africa, we are poor. Yes, we are poor. But does not mean that if someone is poor, they will go about stealing. No, stealing is not the answer. Conning is not the answer. Robbing is not the answer. Scamming is not the answer. This man is trying to associate Africa with negative things. The same arguments I will bring against him in the United States. Just turn the tables around. I would bring them back to the United States, which is even at a bigger scale than Africa. You know, in Africa, you don't hear somebody went to a school and shot everyone dead. You don't hear someone who did this and that. You don't hear it much like in the United States. In Africa, we don't have people walking naked in the streets. We don't have that. At least we have our morality. We have our morality with us, Africans. I'm not asking you to side with me, but see the thing. See the truth for what it is. Africans, we don't have people who walk naked in the streets. We don't have people who do this and that. We still have our morality and we still have our humanity with us. At least respect us for that. Take everything you want to take. Call us anything you want to call us. But leave us with our morality. Leave us with our moral values. Do not rob us of our moral values.
For little to no money. And when I say sell themselves, not physically as far as their body's concerned, but sell themselves as far as their integrity, the moral ethics, the morality of where they might stand spiritually. Just because a person claims that they are an upright standing person, we know this. This is not just Africa. This is around the world. But I find a large majority in Africa, because of those who are coming in with money, many want that money. So I told this young man, if I was him, this project that he is wanting to do, that I've seen so many other people do, he may want to rethink that. Because even the land that he supposedly had purchased may not be his. You see, over in Africa, there's a thing that's called greasing the palm. Now, they don't call it that, but we do. You know, anybody can be bought. The president on down to the lowest man can be bought. Now, I'm not...
Listen to what this brother is saying. Do you know the intensity of what this brother is saying? To the president, to the lowest. This person is taking everyone as a thief. Huh? Just listen. Drizzle the pump or whatever. I just don't know that. But this brother has a problem. He has a problem of anger. He has a problem of bitterness, agony, selfishness. He has these problems. I can sense it in his speech. He has these problems. But how? Your experiences should not define the experiences of others, good brother. From the president to the lowest person will rob you, my brother. Even if you look at my little sister, you see her as a thief. You look at my brother walking around, the first thing that kicks in your mind is, my brother is a thief. If you look at my mother, you think that my mother would do anything to have money, to have your money. It's not like we Africans are very poor that we want to rob you. No. We have the richest man in Africa, who is Aliko Dangote. He's very rich. Elon Musk is a South African. He has South African citizenship. We have rich people in Africa. We don't need to rob you. We don't need to rob you. In fact, it is you who needs to rob us. It is you who might rob us. You might rob us our integrity. You might rob us our morality. But are we talking? Are we talking good, brother? Are we saying that black Americans are bringing gayism? Are we saying that we are welcoming you? Stop talking negative, good brother. Stop. Just stop talking negative. It's bad. It's just weird and it's bad. It's not healthy. You see? It's not good at all.
Saying all presidents and every citizen, but what I'm saying is that we know that majority of these countries that have strong ties to Western worlds, these presidents, these administrators, whomever you want to give their titles, can be controlled by money. Legitimacy. Now, we know that in Africa, many laws do exist, but we know many laws can be broken. And that is being broken by the show of money. Now, I myself can go around Africa, and if I need something, I can just pay somebody to do it. If I want to skip the line, I can pay somebody to do it. If I want my paperwork, whether it's for land or for a house or whether it's for a car, whatever, if you got the money to expedite something, your money will make way. This is one of the hindrances that I find in Africa because of the fact that it takes everything so long to happen because people who's got that money and they want to do business immediately are willing to pay, and your paperwork sits on the desk for months in and out being bypassed because there are people out there who bring in this paperwork to be done who are getting paid money. You know, I don't want to be a bearer of bad news, and I don't want to make it seem like Africa is not a place that you should go.
You just say that Africa is a bad place and people should not go to Africa. Brother, stop lying. Just stop lying. That is what you said before, and that is what you've been saying.
I am saying that, how do you navigate through? Because if you don't know how to come and approach people being apprehensive, with no trust in them, you're going to get fooled, scammed, taken advantage of. Sad to say. So my approach when I come to Africa, I trust nobody. Hell, I barely trust my damn self. Why would I want to put a trust in what somebody tells me what they're able to do? Why would I want to trust somebody? I don't care who they are, yet they will say they can provide us something for you if you give them money, and yet in return, you may not get what you thought.
Let me tell you one thing with the people like go black to Africa. We have people who are just stingy. People who are stingy will always find a rationale to give about their behavior. They'll always find an argument to support their behaviors. That is what they'll always do. They'll always manipulate your thoughts. It takes discernment. It takes the inner man to think. Use the inner man to think. Sometimes logic can have its limits, but listen to your heart. Listen to what your heart is telling you. The heart will warn you even before the brain sees it. You see, this man just has some nasty things about him. I just don't want to call them, but he has some nasty things about him.
Legitimacy.
Against Africa.
Legitimate? Is there a legitimacy in the ways of Africa? For the most part, there's not. Sad to say. And as this young man told me, he said, well, I've never heard you say these things on your videos while you're on YouTube. And I said, oh, yes, I have. I've warned many of people in how to do business and what not to buy and what type of investments that you should do. But I keep getting emails, I keep getting calls on people who get scammed. The number one thing that people get scammed in Africa is land.
The number one thing that people get scammed in Africa is land. I might agree with him. He said people. People including Africans. Africans are people, right? We are not animals. Yeah, even in the United States, you'll be scammed of land. Anywhere you'll be scammed of land. Because land is an object that holds a lot of money. It is a high value property. That's why high value property will always attract criminals, will always attract thieves. This is normal. This is normal. It's true what he's saying here, but it's not only a problem of Africa, it's also a problem of where he is coming from. He's coming from the United States, but he originally came from Africa. He should just put that mentality that Africans are thieves back at the United States, come here with an open mind and cherish. He should cherish what Africa is going to offer him, not talk bad against Africans. You shouldn't talk bad about Africans.
People out here who were selling land, where are they now? Every time I see people who sell land, there's always accusations that they've been scammed by these people, or the person who is selling the land actually got scammed themselves. So as I told this young man, just because you got paperwork to say that you purchased this land, don't mean it is yours. You might find out down the road that piece of paper that they gave you was not real. Even if you took it through the land commissions, because their hands could be greased. The people who in the whole system of pushing paperwork along, not verifying, not trying to find out whether or not this is legit or not, a purchase, or is there an ownership that owns this property for real or outright, with a dilapidated, antiquated system, paperwork filed in boxes that is not even on computers, to be able to substantiate who really owns land. Would you really want to put your money and buy land in an antiquated system?
Brother is giving a good argument. I'm thinking of one thing. In as much as land can be a problem, purchasing land, doing research and going through the proper channels. We have proper channels. Buying land even for Kenyans, let me use Kenyans. Kenya is part of Africa, right? Yeah. Even for Kenyans, we have the due diligence we should always do. Even if myself I want to purchase land, there's a due diligence I have to do. Myself, I don't need to purchase any land. Like, urgently, I might want to purchase land for liberty, for other reasons. I have my own, you see? But if I were to buy a land, I would follow some legal procedures. There is procedures to follow. You just don't go to some random person and you talk to them on the streets. I can't go to the streets of United States and ask people, show me the way to the bank. I know I'll be attracting thieves. Go Black to Africa is saying, he's talking as if Africa, we don't have that commercial thing that we can learn about land and everything. You see, sometimes if you find having land is an issue, it's always better to buy the house. Just buy the house that has already been built, and always take your time. Always take your time to learn. Take as many months as you can to follow the right procedures. Verify. Do not pay your money in cash. Do not pay your money in hand. It should be electric. It should be electric. Something that can be traced. Something that can be traced. Use a bank if possible to do the wire transfer. You have a receipt being issued. This is one of the ways people should be doing things. This is the way people should go. You just don't go to a random person. Anybody will tell you they do anything. That is, even if I go in India, I go in Kuwait, anywhere. Money attracts people everywhere. Money has always been a problem ever since the beginning of history. It's not a problem of Africa. It's something that has always been there. You see?
Majority of Africa is antiquated. Majority of Africa hasn't even gotten up to par in some of these things. But in saying that, you need to be aware as you enter into these cultures who many don't look at themselves as being a thief, a liar, not forthcoming, integrity. These people here look at it more as a means of survival. If they can provide some sort of service to you not exactly what you're wanting, but some type of service. In their eyes, they believe that they have fulfilled their end of the bargain, even if you don't get what you were requesting in the end. I'm saying there are many scams that go on in America. People lose billions of dollars. I've been scammed before in America. People lose billions of dollars in America. Whether it is property, whether it's business deals, whether it's investment deals, it happens. But because of people who have an angst to want to go to Africa and want to start a new beginning, I'm saying trust no one, trust no thing, and everything is short-lived. What do I mean by that? You purchase something today, it might not be there forever. Just enjoy it while you have it.
No, 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 no. I told you before, this brother is a pessimist. Everything is not short-lived. Our life is short, yeah, I understand that. God gave us this short lifetime. After we committed the sin, the first sin, He said, man shall not live forever. A man shall toil in order to eat. And He said, you, woman, you shall have pain while giving birth. This is something that is there. No need to argue about it. However, when you buy a property here in Kenya, here in Africa, let me talk about Kenya, okay? Let me talk about Kenya. I've seen people who bought land and built a home. 10 years down the line, I was very young, even almost 20 years, they still have that property over there, and I've never seen nobody coming and asking them for that. No, 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 no. No. Go back to Africa. You are lying. You are lying. You are putting a small part to be the whole part. No. No, 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 no. In the totality of reality is when you will see the bigger picture. And when you see the bigger picture, you'll get sense of what I'm telling you. The bigger picture is not being showed to you. It's just saying some experiences that have been had. If you hear a place is just short-lived and you want to enjoy your other life, people like our sisters over there are always sharing with me this and that. If you listen to what Go Black to Africa is telling you, you won't have the heart to move to Africa. But this man is just a visitor, and he tends to know it all about Africa. He knows it all about Africa. Africa, we have rules. Africa, we have laws. Africa, laws are there, and no government can ever rob you. I don't want to talk about governments. It's another thing. He said from the president to the lowest person, everybody is a thief. Everybody has the identity. Yeah, I don't trust anyone. Even myself, I don't trust anyone. I trust specific people. But now, if you live with the mentality that Africans are thieves, how are you going even to enjoy living close to your neighbors? You might think that if you just leave your door there, somebody will come and knock your door and steal from you. You see? We can't live like that. Good brother, we can't live like that. Huh? We can never ever live like that. We should live with the love. We should live with the understanding. You can be very cautious. You can provide security for your things. But the thieves will always find their way. It is God who really, really, really protects us from nasty things. It is the Most High who really protects us from nasty things. It is not our knowledge. It is not our smartness. But the Most High. The Most High. He is the one who protects us from everything. No matter how smart you are, no matter how wise you think you may be, it is the Most High who protects His people, not us ourselves. It is by His grace. By His grace. By His grace, go black to Africa. Don't be too judgmental. You don't have the right. Don't be too judgmental. You don't have the rights. Totally. You don't have the rights.
This is your man, not your boy. Bringing you another gold nugget that you can either pick up or you can just kick it aside.
I'm going to kick aside the gold nugget because it's not even a gold nugget. It's a plastic gold nugget. I'm going to throw it away. Guys, kindly do subscribe. It really helps me a lot.